Well, new on AM Extra, UFOs and UAPs are back in the spotlight this week. In a hearing on Capitol Hill yesterday, experts from across the field spoke about their experience with things from beyond our world.
So joining us in studio this morning is Brian Anslinger, a professor at PCC, teaching a course on UAPs and UFOs, also the executive producer of Everyday Northwest here on Portland CW. Always great to see you, Brian.
Good to see you guys as well. Thanks for having me on.
Normally, when we're talking, it's about Los Angeles Dodgers baseball. Congrats, by the way. But this is a fun topic here as well. There you go. Yeah, you got the white and blue. Okay, why is Congress so interested in UAPs and UFOs? Why is it such a big fixture right now?
I think one of the things to keep in mind when you're looking at all of this is there's money involved. Congress is responsible for oversight. This was the House Oversight Committee. So any expenditures made by the executive branch, which includes things like the Pentagon, Department of Energy, others that have been, allegedly involved in some UAP crash retrieval programs, they're supposed to have oversight of that. And if that money is not accounted for to Congress, which is what the allegations are, that these programs have not been reported to Congress or even the Gang of Eight, which is responsible for kind of the top secret type stuff, they want to be interested. There's also allegations of illegal activity, the law.
Right.
So those two things, money and the law, that's really what's piqued Congress's interest.
And it is fun to talk about aliens, but there also could be some pretty significant national security implications, in all of this stuff too. So it's interesting to see DC dig into this. A journalist was part of this witness panel. So what did we learn from the story that he broke?
So Michael Schellenberger, he runs a website called Public, broke this story about a top secret program called Immaculate Constellation. So this, if my understanding of it is correct, this program would collect data from all the other, agencies in the government that were, say, like radar, infrared, that sort of thing, and sort of it would collect the data, but look specifically for UAP-related information. So this also led to things getting published on sort of an government YouTube page, for lack of a better word, where according to this report, which was authored by someone who worked inside the Pentagon at some point or worked inside the government at some point, according to Schellenberger, included things like video of one of the allegations in the Immaculate Conception document that they turned over to Congress was a story about a black triangle that appeared over Navy ships, popped out of nowhere about 3,000 feet. And they have apparently have radar data and video. And one of the allegations that came from that is that this video that they have is super clear and of different size. I mean, they listed, I think, 15 or 20 different things, some including orbs, some including, different disc-shaped objects.
Wow.
So, yeah, so it's a lot of it. And overall of it is this is a program that wasn't reported to Congress, which is why they're really interested.
Yeah. And that's always like the big complaint is the video's never, it's always the grainiest, oldest,
and you're just like, what is this
video.
type of video?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Well, there is also somebody on this panel who investigated UFOs for the government, which is fascinating to hear from this person as well. Yeah,
Luis Elizondo worked. He was the director of the ATIP, or former director of ATIP, which was kind of the, we learned about that in 2017. New York Times and several other outlets broke a story about his involvement in this program. So he was responsible for investigating military and other government reports. He's been very outspoken over the years. Recently, just came out with a book called Eminent, where he kind of documented all of his what he learned while investigating UAPs, and he also talked a little bit about he was asked directly about the crash retrieval programs by one of the members of Congress there, and he couldn't talk about it. And there's kind of this interesting exchange where they kind of joked like, if you can't talk about Fight Club if there's no Fight Club, and but because of documents that he'd signed, because he has to in order to maintain his top secret clearance to look at that stuff, he can't say certain things. So it was very, his testimony was incredibly interesting for this whole process.
That's fascinating.
Wow.
Okay, well, real quick, Brian, we're almost out of time, but I'm curious, where do we go from here? Are there going to be more hearings? Where does this sit?
There is some breaking news. this morning, the Senate Armed Services Committee scheduled a hearing for next week to look into the all-domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which is the office tasked by Congress to collect and gather all this information and investigate UAP stuff. They haven't necessarily done what they were tasked to do in the past, so next week on Tuesday, they're going to have a hearing about it, both in closed session and in open session.
It is so interesting to follow. And I the whole time I'm just thinking, Tom DeLonge was right. He was right. We heard you. We heard you, Tom. Oh, it's wild. Brian, this is actually really fascinating. I appreciate you coming in to break it down.
We'll be cranking the Blink 182 and checking back in with you in a couple weeks.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Absolutely.